Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is CinemaSaints and welcome to my channel. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like, share, and subscribe for more. So, to start this game off, this is the first time I had any issue with the game, and it's right here at the start of this. I have a connection issue for a little bit. I can't get my units to move, which did kind of slow me up a little, but in the grand scheme of things, did not cause any long-standing issues that affected my ability to actually play the game. But what's going on, guys? We're just throwing this one in here for now because I don't know when we're gonna be playing again, so I literally am just throwing basically almost every game that there was at least some decent, maneuvers or plays in. Unfortunately, a couple of games I played, I couldn't get, I didn't record. I actually ran out of recording space during the middle of some of my best games that I had during the week, which is really unfortunate. One of which was with Commander Guts. He was part of a group, and he had some connection issues with said group, and then he and I ended up in the same match as each other just by random happenstance, and we ended up playing. I think he ended up in like 4th or 5th, and I was top of the team as far as score goes, and we worked pretty well together, and we basically just, me, him, and one other player, as all individual solos, took over an entire side of the map, and at one point it was like a wave defense simulator for me. It was a tier 6 gameplay, so, in tier for the playtest, and I had just wave after wave of enemy that kept coming as we were trying to take this point that they had, and it was just so good, the plays that we were able to get off, but that's neither here nor there. So you can see that this dude put down some spikes. I feel like I recognize this dude from the Wargaming, but I'm just not really 100% sure. But he does pop his vengeance, and I recognize that for a long time. But I know that I've got elephant support on the way, and I've got the big dick energy going through me right now, so I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna face tank a vengeance. Which, that unit kind of gets deleted a little bit. But still, like I said, I know I've got elephant support on the way, so my actual concern level is kind of low. Should it be? Probably not. I should probably actually be very concerned. And honestly, I was fighting vengeance in the worst way possible for Carthaginians. Putting a Carthaginian phalanx lowers your melee defense, which means he was hitting me a lot more because I was in phalanx fighting him versus loose formation, and loose formation has higher defense, so yeah. But that's only with the Carthaginians. If you're playing Greek, and you go into phalanx, that's your best bet against vengeance. But that's I don't understand why, but that's the way it is. Because, mechanically, what's different between a Greek phalanx and a Carthaginian phalanx? I don't know. But, see, we do finish up this fight here. Honestly, would have lost that hands down if it wasn't for the elephant support. No doubt about that. But, get a few points here, killing off the last couple of Romans, and then we're gonna fall back to our main point, get some healing going on.
进攻据点。我军据点。
Sorry, I've been recording a lot, and I don't know. I'm still kind of a little messed up from having the flu as far as like my throat goes. Still coughing a lot, and so recording, talking all this much, it kind of messes with my throat. So I hope you guys don't mind that I drink a little bit here and now while I record, just to kind of help keep my throat well lubricated for you. Sorry, I'm bad. But this would be with, you know, the sword versus spear comments. And I actually had one of my subscribers, his name in the game is Zensor, and on YouTube it's something else. It's really long, and I'm really tired. And I'm not even going to try to remember it right offhand without having it in front of me. But he actually asked me this question, and I intended to go into this, you know. He asked me if the Carthaginian swords are good, and so, to put things as best as I can here, Carthaginian swords are good. They are not going to win against Roman swords in a head-to-head most of the time, because Roman swords have better stats for frontline fighting. And most of the time you're going to run into a Germanicus, and if you get stuck in with a Germanicus, you're just going to get fucked up anyway. It doesn't really matter what you have. But if you're paying attention and you see that he popped his vengeance, you could just run away, wait for his vengeance to expire, and then come back in. Maybe not necessarily the best of plays, but you know, you could. That would make the fight at least more even. But generally speaking, with the swords, your main goal, if you're playing with Hasdrubal, is to flank around. You're not really gonna be dealing enough damage to do the frontline fighting. Hasdrubal in and of himself is more of a support role, but I find that if you're going to play Hasdrubal, I would play Hasdrubal spears. Generally speaking, they're better at the frontline stuff. I'm not gonna say that they're the best at it, but they work well. They deal good damage, and honestly, comparatively, I find their utility to be greater than that of the swords. I feel like the swords with Hasdrubal, it's a one-trick pony, but with the spears, you've got a little bit more fluidity with what you can do. You can block off areas so that the enemy can't pass through it, and you can essentially choke point the enemy. You get your bonus to cav. You do well against infantry. You're slower than swords, but not like remarkably slower. So, you know, and you're still faster than Roman infantry, so you can still get into the fight relatively quickly and maneuver around the map pretty well, versus, you know, Roman infantry, it's kind of slow. I mean, it's fast, I guess, you know, for what it is, but it's still slower than the phalanx. So at the end of the day, I feel like if you're playing Hasdrubal, your best bet is cavalry. Your second best bet is spears, followed by elephants, because they're fucking elephants, and then going into swords. Again, this is just my personal opinion. You could definitely say that playing elephants is probably the best way to go because they're elephants. And I would understand your point there, and honestly wouldn't really argue it very much. I would say that the greater mobility of the cavalry is better. Of course, Carthaginian cavalry, I haven't played it in this. I assume that the Numidian horse is probably very much the same as it was. Unfortunately, the Carthaginians' melee cav is kinda shit. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's got the same base stats as Roman cav, but with Roman cav you have Scipio, so Scipio's gonna beat you on the
进攻
charge.
据点，
His abilities are gonna instantly rout you, and when it comes to just being able to stay in the fight, like, his abilities are just better than Hasdrubal for cavalry command. So I don't
敌
see
军正在攻击敌军据点，
that as a very effective tool. But the Numidian horse, right? You got your little skirmisher cav or whatever, has so much utility. It's so fast. It's got the javelins. Like, it's just really good. So,
敌军失去据点控制权，
if you really want to play the Carthaginian swords, I would say use Hannibal.
双方
You
正
could
在
use
争夺据点，
Hasdrubal and use it to some good effect, but I would say Hannibal would be your better bet because you'll have a better time utilizing the sword's unique characteristics that make it better, right? Because
敌军
he'll
发起攻击，
increase your aggression a lot more. He can make it to where they're unbreakable, which is really fucking good. And he can also increase your speed. So I would say that the swords struggle with morale, so being able to make them unbreakable for a short time is a huge
占
benefit.
领敌军大营，
The swords do base more damage, like they just have a better melee stats at base levels. So being able to increase that aggression, again, for a short period of time is super important. And the swords are faster than the hoplites, and being able to have an ability that increases their speed even further, Hannibal is just the way to go with swords, right? Because he's got something for all of their issues, and I just find that he's better suited for them than Hasdrubal. I do find Hasdrubal to be a much better spear commander, but that's just me personally. But yeah, anyways guys, I'll let y'all watch the next couple of minutes. That was about the end of the plays there for this. But if you guys have your own opinions of who you think is the better commander for whatever, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Fuck it, why not? I did realize a little late that those were enemy spikes. But yeah, anyways guys, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know, I check my analytics from time to time, and like 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. Yeah,
胜利
that's
就在
right.
前方。
I'm looking at you. Just go ahead and press the subscribe button. It takes no time. You don't even have to press the bell button. Just subscribe. Alright guys, enough fucking around. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
友军成功歼敌，